So the engine's ready to go back in the car. Not really sure the last thing that we showed you, but we got the M50 manifold on there. All of the wiring is hooked up to all the sensors on this thing. Just got done putting the new idler pulley on because the old one was bad. And yeah, I don't really know exactly how well I can show you the way this routes, but if you just look up S52 belt diagram or something like that, it'll come up. Yeah, so we did the valve cover gasket, we did the VANOS cover gasket right here. There's a pretty good video by, I think it's Black, and he shows you how to take out the right here. There's gonna be like a few nuts on the back of the VANOS unit, and to do this like the right way, you're supposed to pull the entire unit, but the dude, it's Black on YouTube, shows you how to take this cover off just to do the gasket if you don't want to rebuild the entire VANOS unit, or take the entire VANOS unit off and mess with timing and all that stuff. But you basically loosen all these nuts. At least the way that we did it was we loosened it until the nuts were almost off, so that this this cover couldn't fall off. And then we used a wrench to crack all the nuts and then get all the nuts off, and then you can take off this cover here, and then the gasket goes right around there. Yeah, we got the fan and fan clutch on. And I have been doing a little work on the alternator because it was one of the bearings was really bad. Been working on polishing it up. I think it should look pretty good. Probably look better if it was painted, but I think it looks pretty good. That's what it looked like after I polished it, and this is like what it looked like before. So it's way better. Put new bearings in it. I got a rebuild kit for the alternator, so I got that bearing in. I got to find new bolts for this like plate that goes on here, because of course they were Phillips, and as soon as I tried to take it off, they stripped. So I did a little work and I found a bolt that would work. I had to like shorten it and kind of like grind the head a little bit so it would fit inside like these recesses in here. So it'll fit kind of like that. But anyway, so I got that. I'm gonna work on polishing this, and then hopefully be able to get the alternator back together today. And then got a new voltage regulator for the alternator. This the inner bearing is the one that was bad, so this is the new one. So it spins nice, spins really nice and smooth. This was the old one, so good focus. So like quite a bit of corrosion on the outside. So if your alternators are making like weird like noises, like when you'd first start it, it would like kind of make it like noise a little bit. if that's a good representation. But like this one's really bad. Like I can't even spin this. It's so bad. Like you have to. It's really hard. It's like almost seized. So yeah, that should make that sound go away. And then I also have been doing. I put a brand new slip ring on there.
pretty much destroyed the other one. You kind of have to, like, you have to break all the plastic on the bottom here and like here, and you kind of like pretty much pry the actual rings off. Let's see if I can actually find the other one.
Garbage goober, get out here and eat this garbage. Trash. Yeah, I love trash. Yum yum trash. Hell yeah, I love that little guy.
This is what it did look like. Again, like, it's pretty worn. It's got a big groove in it. And then, like, obviously that's what it looks like when it's new. So I don't know, for some reason, I don't know if it's a common thing or not, but this bottom one here was worn way worse than the top one. The top one looked almost new, but this one was not. So I don't know if it was something with the like voltage regulator, like I don't know what you call them, but like these things, like you can see the bottom one is really, it's quite a bit more worn. Yeah, I don't know if anybody knows why this happens, or if it just happens with time. I guess just let me know, because I would actually be kind of interested in why it wore so unevenly. I don't know, but this is the original Bosch one, so yeah, I don't know. The rebuild kit is just like off of eBay or whatever, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, that's pretty much the update. Then we also have been working on all the detents, so both of these are done. This is reverse fifth. Got new detents in there with the bushings, new caps, snap rings, and then the upper ones, 1, 2, 3, all like the updated, like the updated detent with like the bushing and the detent and the spring. So, and then new caps, looking pretty good. The original ones, the original detents for these like top three gears is just it's like just a metal on metal detent, so it just like rides in the bore with no bushing, and then the updated ones come with the bushing. So yeah, I don't know if anybody cares, but that's how it comes. So, and then I also we're also doing a pivot pin while we're in there. We're putting a stainless steel one in. This is the original one. So, foot focus. You can see it's pretty worn. It's got like concave to it, I guess, on this side. But yeah, we're putting a new one of those in.
I'm gonna be cleaning up this mess today. It's pretty dirty in the bay, so I already started over here, so the time lapse isn't gonna be able to get that, but I only just took off the washer fluid reservoir right here, and then cleaned off this whole area. But I'm gonna try to get all back there, all around the firewall, the other side, and then also probably clean off the subframe and the rack, because I have some reinforcements for the subframe mount that needs to be pretty clean to weld in. So that's the plan, and here's the time lapse. then, yeah, we didn't get any video of us putting it in, but if you're gonna put one of these in, there's almost no footage of people actually putting them in, just taking them out. The best way to do this is to probably put this side motor mount arm on the bracket for it, and the motor mount in the motor mount, actual motor mount, really loosely onto the bracket, as well as the bracket really loosely onto the block in there, and then get it pretty much in. And you're gonna have to leave this side motor mount bracket off and get it in, because to get the oil pan around the, oh, you can't even see it. You can kind of see. To get it around the steering shaft right there, you need to kind of push this engine really far to the passenger side to get to go around it. But then after you get it around it and like in kind of where it's supposed to be, loosely put on this motor mount arm right there, and then loosely put on the motor mount, because then everything can kind of move a little bit, and then you can put that motor mount into the hole and the locating pin lined up. Same with the other side, but if you try to make everything tight and then put it in, you will have to, well, there's pretty much no way to get it in, is what we were seeing. And then after that, you can kind of jam and hammer stuff into the holes. And I didn't even show you, but I also did the front subframe reinforcements. You can't really see it anymore, but yeah, I did those. Yeah, I have the rears done, and I think I have the rear shock towers done as well for this car, because really thin metal used in this car. But yeah, so now I'm going to hook up the fuel lines. So I gotta get this back. I think this is like an airbox type deal. No, not an airbox, but like, I think your blower motor's in there. But yeah, you gotta get this off, and there's one right down there, and then this one right there, and then that can come out, and then that will expose the fuel lines behind it. I just put the ECU or the DME back in that little cubby. I mounted the relay that goes in here to the bracket on this side, the screw that like holds that thing that, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so that should be all good for the ECU. I just gotta find the screws or whatever that actually bolt that cover on, and then it should be good. So this ground is very important actually for your car. I'm pretty sure it's the ECU ground, the main ECU ground, and we both thought it was part of the SAP wiring because it was on the same loom as the SAP wiring, but it's definitely not, because we were messing around with this and we touched it to the top hat bolts, and the fuel pump primed, and we're like, that's it. And then yeah, so it comes out right here on your harness, right out of the DME box, and then all your SAP wiring, and it splits off the other way to go to this ground right there. Okay, another update.
obviously got the engine in, and then we got the trans on, got the new slave in there. We also did the like there's a clutch like delay valve that like goes in here. We just got rid of that because I don't know, burnouts, I guess. But anyway, if anybody wants to do that, it's pretty easy, at least on this car. I don't know about maybe older E36s don't, but this is a 98, and like the clutch delay valve just goes in this like clutch line here. Then I was able to just kind of like unscrew it out and then pretty much just plug it right back up to the hard line that goes to the slave. So that was pretty cool. Didn't have to get any like adapters or anything like that. And then we also ended up putting new Condor trans mounts in here. We went with the polyurethane ones. We were kind of worried about how much noise like the UHMW ones from Condor would make. So I just went with the poly ones, just to try to keep the noise down a little bit. 'Cause this will just be like a, you know, like a fun car, but I don't want it to like pretty much suck to drive. So another thing is we did end up doing a single mass flywheel conversion. We went with the JB Racing flywheel. Then we were able to use the stock ring gear on like the factory starter. That was pretty much the biggest thing that I was looking for, because I really didn't want to have to change the ring gear on the starter. So yeah, and then we also ended up doing an E34 M5 clutch disc with that, and then just the factory E36 M3 pressure plate. So yeah, I mean we haven't driven it yet because, you know, not drive shaft, but but yeah. So yeah, and then you know, got the new Condor UHMW motor mounts in there, the reinforcement plates for that. But yeah, should be pretty fun.